In the previous chapter, be in the safe zone to be surprised with a system notification saying that the boss monster Ran Mamba has been defeated. After that incident, Lee suddenly appears Chang Sun carrying the body of the bloody Mamba past. He puts it on the ground and says to you, surely a player, right? That question addressed to Park Hee-soo, I already beat the boss. I want you to take care that my other weak monsters will find a place to rest alone, because apparently everyone isn't comfortable with me. After leaving the crowd, people who were in the safe zone felt relieved and said what he really is, Terran. He is very different, and also the blonde youth, his face looked annoyed. On the other hand, in place Lee Chang-sun. Rest time given before entering the opening. The second part, Lee Chang-sun put Mamba body, carved the run inscription on a stone and created like delimiter effect of it creates that skill novice run creation, now low grade run creation. After the delimiter is created, Lee Chang-sun also checks the prize. There are 2 rewards from the achievement result plus ranking and 3 prizes from that bet given by the previous constellation. Then Lee Chang-sun said check reward of achievement. Visible prize. Lee Chang-sun's achievements, there are 4 categories, and he said that he was sure low level rewards like this, and for now practicing from Tiamat it's more than enough. Then Lee Chang-sun choosing karma. Lee Chang-sun also obtained 5,000 karma. The current amount of karma amounting to 15,000 rupiah. Karma is one of a kind Lee's currency. Chang-sun said the reason for choosing karma was because the human world and the god world different. Who has a lot of money is the best. I have to be prepared when in future store or shop suddenly opened. Next, he opened the Windows system to see the start level rise drastically, and so did he get a new skill, that is Cervante 8. Lee Chang-sun looked happy because that's all he gets from killing bloody Mamba alone. Then notifications, a system appeared that said Constellation, a good season to hunt, shows his greed to get you. Several gods showed interest to you, and the second gift from the Constellation, a good season to hunt, is given. Lee Chang-sun said there are many options. Then he said in his heart, but I can't post this yet, take this gift now, I'm going to tide with Pablsag. And Lee Chang-sun closed the gift list because of him not accept the gift as instead. Lee Chang-sun got karma of 1 million. Then notification, the system said the Constellation, a good season to hunt, offers you to accept the position as a candidate. His messenger Lee Chang-sun replied about it, I'm sorry, I still want do a lot of things and have no intention to stop and become one God's verdict candidate. Because of Lee Chang-sun refused the last gift, he too get another karma point of 1 million. Number of karma is currently totaled 2,015,000. As a result, refusing the prize as the Constellation of a good season to hunt express anger to you. It says you have insulted himself, but Lee Chang-sun don't care about the consequences. The event was a system notification not popping up in between that notification. There are several gods who interested in this incident, anyone being focused on his ambition, Lee Chang-sun, and there also a god who originally didn't care about Lee Chang-sun started to show some taste, curiosity, and attention back. Lee Chang-sun's smile says it all went according to my plan. Because it's come this far, I guess I could easily skip the stages next from this dungeon. Then Lee Chang-sun started taking advantage of bloody Mamba's corpse. He took blood, flesh and eyes. Then the story also moved in the safe zone, to be precise, where the young blonde and her blonde friend with his annoyed looking face said, can I do it to be a player? His friend looked surprised hearing those words. He said, become a player? Have you gone mad? The blonde replied, drunkard, damn, that alone can do it, so why can't I? No. You think I can definitely do it, because before I wasn't aware, but it looks like I am awakened my talent here now. I can see messages from the system god, said the Constellation owl that pierces twilight showed interest on the talent possessed by the player Young-yi, and suddenly from the sky appears someone. He is administrator in charge of Korean server Arok, and people created surprised by the arrival of a person administrator. So this administrator explained why he could be in here. It says, unlike the administration, my policy department itself is do not interfere and high degree of freedom. But the speed of dungeons transmission was sudden and therefore increased drastically. For the higher-ups keep pushing me. Previously I apologized to you, but it looks like we should adjust the difficulty level. Then the administrator snapped his fingers and the safe zone was destroyed. After that, system notifications appear to all people and said difficulty level being revamped, safety zones being removed, monster attack count increased, offense or attack attribute and defense or defend against monsters upgraded. Saw that notification, people look shocked. Inkle Park Hee-soo, he said in his heart that this incident is the same as before. The selection on the incident was Park Hee-soo wounded and many of his comrades dead. The gods in Constellations called the administrator and upgraded the difficulty drastically to test whether the novice has the ability to be a messenger or not. If I have to see a lot of people who will sacrifice again, what is that? Precious, even Lee Chang-sun to gods. Then a lot of system notifications appear that said with the increased rest time, trouble has been eliminated. The monsters have been blessed with the freedom they currently are was in a state of hunger. From now you can create a party maximum, and each party is 10 person. Each party will only be given permission to proceed to the next stage if they after collecting 99 fireballs. Wow, what the heck, I haven't have seen or heard the rules like this before. People said who gave up. and in 5 hours seconds the monsters will start attacking. Then the administrator appears behind Park Hee-soo and says, "You must be one player." Park Hee-soo was surprised. "Do you know me? Of course, don't you? You're the survivor of the Cave of the Altar Dragon." "No way, I don't know, because of our administration department always keeping an eye on you." "Alright then, I wish you well." Administrator disappears. It didn't take long for a system notification to appear who said the second part of the dungeon had opened. Visible monsters like wolves chasing people. When these people fled, Young-yi led the crowd of monsters and said, "This is my chance." On the other hand, Lee Chang-sun looks happy because he has been getting bloody mamba fangs. Instantly her face changed at hearing system notification saying that the second part of the dungeon has been unlocked, and the gods showed an interest in you. "The gods are betting long you can last them." Lee Chang-sun said maybe they already started the selection. "I guess I still have little time because of me winning the bet with Pavelsak." Then Lee Chang-sun checked the conditions. His body looks HP or health point and MP or mana point is really sad, and only SP or stamina points remain too. After seeing that, inevitably Lee Chang-sun headed inside forest because everything is not running according to the plan at the time, and on the way he met a fire monster, the monster called Fire Lizard. While Fire Lizard, Lee Chang-sun said in his heart that part the first is the area of biological monsters poison or biological poison, and part second there is a fire poison monster or fire poison, then next for sure ice poison, then mineral poison and stuff, finally the poison core. Then something I have to take from this monster is the accumulation of fire heads. Then the Fire Lizard noticed Lee Chang-sun's presence, and the Fire Lizard spouted its flames. However, Lee Chang-sun avoided it. After avoiding it, he headed straight for the Fire Lizard's right and attacked the Fire Lizard's knees. As he succeeded, injured his knee, the Fire Lizard got angry and attacked Lee Chang-sun with use the tail. As a result, Lee Chang-sun immediately jumped up backwards and stayed out of his attack range. Then Lee Chang-sun immediately narrowed down distance from him again and attacked the back of his neck, and so did he manage to kill the Fire Lizard. After killing the Fire Lizard, Lee Chang-sun took a fireball to the place where it attacked the Fire Lizards. Then he swallowed it. Because he managed to swallow it, a notification appeared that said you had obtained your low-grade burn tolerance and have collected a total of 2 fireheads. After listening to the notification, he ran again. Lee Chang-sun said that he must eat more fireball because it is the second condition to get poison immunity, so I'll collect fuel to start the fire. Head of the 8 trigrams here becomes poison immunity. Anter's ability, the Scorpion of the 12 zodiac signs, is an old enemy Lee Chang-sun. He has a talent immune to all kinds poison and its characteristics able to reset poison and releasing it into bloody form poison. Thus, though Lee Chang-sun have the strength to compete, Anter's divinity power or ability, his god, quickly disappeared because the style curse style belongs to Antares, and eventually Lee Chang-sun defeated by Antares. But he found an opportunity in the netherworld. Lee Chang-sun was able to learn the secret art of most of the Valen Constellation commanded by Thanatos. Valen Constellation is currently tied to identity as a prisoner in the netherworld. To get their position currently, the 12 zodiac signs have created many enemies, and among them are Valen Constellation that saves grudges against them. 10 Valen constellations which achieve the nickname as the 10 Elder give him special attention, and that the first of them represents the path shortcut to get poison immunity, namely the Valen constellation lost his daughter. Because Antares, Lee Chang-sun nicknamed him as First Elder because he was the first time give him training. Story continues in the place where Lee Chang-sun was seen. He had already defeated several fire lizards and eat his fire head, and then he said this fire head in his heart still very weak in comparison with head of the Xtagram. I need to find their base and eat the fireball from the strongest and hardest monster. It is there. The story changes again to where Yoongi is. Look at him kill the fire lizard and tell the truth, this is it. If this continues like this, I might be able to beat up Lee Chang-sun that. But immediately the look on his face changed when looking at the ratings dungeon. He said how come it was certain he was using some sort of shortcut. Right then, notification that looks broken said that Constellation advises you to use shortcuts too when your enemies do it with her power-hungry gaze. Yoongi do whatever it takes to be more strong. On the other hand, when people in Park Hee-soo were there, he said the wave of monster attacks has been running for 3 days, so everyone is already fatigued. Suddenly Yoongi came up and said, I just got a new skill. God has answered my deepest wish. Only this is how we all become players and survive. On the other hand, Lee Chang-sun was chasing a fire monster who entered into Goa, and only once her attack managed to kill him, and of course after killing the fire monsters he ate his fire head. Suddenly, just from inside the cave there was a sound of screaming, so it is the sound of a child screaming. Previous small that was in the zone safe, he was chased by the monster, Lee Chang-sun, who saw it. So did he help him? Lee Chang-sun said, why you are alone? What about that? The other child was seen crying fear. And answer, them all died. They were all left by a person named Yoongi. That person said he could provide God's power with this symbol. Li Changsun replied that you had to be deceived is the symbol of the demon. This seal signifies that your soul has sold to demon. Original seal from owl that pierces twilight is not like that. If the person who has that emblem dead, then his life energy and soul will be directly taken. The energy of life will be taken by the player, meanwhile his soul will be taken by the demon. Then Li Changsun said in his heart though that the level of this seal is very high. If this is the doing of a demon, that's for sure demon grade that has gone beyond the level demon king. As he walked he said, but still it does no harm for me. Then the little boy gave chase to Li Changsun and said, please help me. If you can order me to do anything, can clean, wash and cook instead please for me to get stronger. Heard about it, Li Changsun said, if you really can do anything then let's modify this seal first. On the other side where Youngyi is, look, he receives life energy as a result of 2 dead players. He said, inside my heart is getting stronger again even more. Then the notification appears saying that he himself is very satisfied with your development. Then her face looked irritated at him and said, you bastards, why can't you hurry a little? How with that which I command you search? The people answered, found it. After hearing that, Youngyi immediately ordered people to follow him. He said he would do boss raid from now on. Li Changsun, just you wait, I will definitely drop respect for you no matter what you did to me. On the other hand, where Li Changsun was, after listening to the talent of a small child that Li Changsun said, so you talented in escaping? If so, I pass the rune of notification to you, so many monsters will chase you. Then you have to run between the monsters by gathering them all. A few moments later the little boy even ran using skill Tempest Dash. When running appeared a monster named Rotten Zombies and Breaking Ghouls lured by children that small, and at the same time with take advantage of opportunities. Li Changsun managed to kill all the rotten zombies and breaking ghouls. Then Li Changsun asked that little child this was alright. Then the little boy immediately approached Li Changsun and said, yes, I've lured all the monsters in a 300-meter radius like you say, and also I have given preparation everything and work with. Okay, is there anything else I can do? Then Li Changsun said to run away as far as possible, because of that Youngyi will soon appear. He is not an enemy you can face. With a glance which is full of the faith of a small child, that's a good answer. After small children it suddenly just startled with a poison. Apparently, poison it arises as a result of the appearance of the boss, the last named monster worm spider. Li Changsun held his eyes and for a moment his eyes changed. Okay, that's all for the Manhwa storyline entitled Return of the Broken Constellation Part 3. If you want to know how the story goes, don't forget to support this channel by subscribing and turning on the bell so you don't miss notifications. Thank you very much. See you soon.